Oh, we made it.
We
Wow.
made it. Let me come on this
That's what
side.
happened when women get together, honey, and we are determined. We're going to make something happen. Because I said, well, if this don't work, honey, I'm going to shoot you a Zoom link. We're going to get this done today. Okay.
Oh,
How
thank you so
are
much
you,
for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
Carla?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk to you and talk to the
Yes.
ladies. I'm grateful to be
Yes.
here.
Thank you so much. So, welcome to Divorce and Empowered Conversations. We have these every other Wednesday in our beautiful Rebirth Collective community, which is growing, and I'm so happy about that. And share their story of things that they've learned about themselves in the marriage and how they overcame and still recovering from divorce. Because,
Mm,
honey, this process cannot be rushed. We want it to be rushed. Honey, we want it to be rushed.
yes.
I'm going on 3 years in, and I still have layers that are unfolding. But
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing that I'm recognizing is that it's really the unfolding of me. It
Mm.
was the marriage that activated
The
my
unfolding.
my rediscovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the marriage, the leaving the marriage, the
Right, the
divorce, all of that
divorce.
activated
Mm-hmm.
that pain, made me
Yep,
search for myself.
absolutely.
Yes,
Because
yes.
there has to be something else, and this can't continue to hold me down. This can't hold me captive. What else is there for me to do, for me to find, for me to learn, for me to love? There has to be something else.
Has to be. So tell everybody who you are. Let's hear who's Carla DuPont and how did she come up with this amazing book? What happened? Come on, girl.
Well, my name is Carla DuPont, as she told you all. I have two beautiful children, 17-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Well, she's 10 going on 25. If you know, you know. I live in
Ooh-wee.
Metro Atlanta, and girl,
Mhm.
and I am a ghostwriter and publisher. So I have a small publishing company, which is why publishing the book wasn't difficult. It was getting the book out. It was writing the book, putting my hurt and pain and vulnerability into a place to empower women so they could learn you're not the only one. Other people are going through it. This is what I did to get over it, and hopefully it will help you too.
How long did it take you to write the book?
In real time, it took about a week. I wrote it, I do binge writing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll lock my stuff up in the house for my kids go with their dad every other weekend. So I was like, okay, I'm not making any plans. I'm just going to write. So the first weekend I did 15,000 words, but it hurt so much to write those words that I did not pick the book up for another 2 years. And then I said, okay, all right, Carla, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. So then I binge wrote the other 15,000. And I was like, okay, well, maybe the 10,000. I was like, okay, all right, we're good. The book is, all right, now I just need to edit it. But when I got to the last chapter, I cried so hard for so long. It's like someone told me my mother had died. I was hysterical. I was sobbing because it brought up all of the emotion that I thought I had gotten over.
Mm-hmm.
And because in the book, I give real life examples of what I went through, experiences I had. Reliving those experiences was overwhelming. And so, altogether, it took me 5 years to get the book out.
Whew.
5 years.
5 years to get this book. OMG, I'm divorced. I am just into the two chapters. Reason being, I'm slowly reading because I've already sent out a call to start a book club with our first book being OMG I Am Divorced by Carla
Yay!
DuPont.
Thank
So
you.
I have a few sisters who are ready to start. So once they get their book, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start that process and we're gonna have some real discussions because divorce is not for the faint at heart. Honey, it ain't no punk shit.
It's
Divorce
not
is not no punk shit. Let's, baby, it's gonna show you who
who
you are.
you are, right? And they say being married is hard, but so is going through a divorce, especially when you have children. The people who I knew who had been divorced didn't have kids, so they couldn't give me much advice
Right.
because it's over, it's done. Y'all don't have anything to fight about. But I have to look at you. My daughter was 2 years old, so I have to look at you every week to come pick up these kids.
Ooh.
We have to be in the same spaces and things like my son, he won the spelling bee at his school. Me and his dad were there and they were like, y'all take a picture together. And you should see the picture. My son in the middle like this and me and the dad were like, do we
We
have to do
just
this
here.
together?
We just here. Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
it's not easy. It's
So
not easy at all.
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into divorcing and co-parenting and some of the things that some of the things you actually experience as well as some things we can do to become better in that
Hmm.
area because that's really, really rough knowing that you have just, you know, um released yourself and your identity from this
Hmm.
person, right? You're getting your own identity together.
Hmm.
You're doing your own grieving and bereavement.
Yep.
And women, if we don't jump right into a relationship from a rebound, we start grieving immediately. We start grieving and going in bereavement immediately. Sometimes before we even detach, before we even leave,
We're
we begin
already
to grieve.
grieving.
Right.
Hmm.
And men, on the other hand, they often go find another woman really quickly.
Hmm.
So they don't start grieving and all of that until sometimes years later,
Way later,
way
right?
later.
Hmm.
And most of the time, the second woman or wife is trying to figure out what is going on with him. He's grieving his first wife. I went through it. I know. There were so many times he kept bringing up things about his first wife and first wife and first wife to where I was like, he still has not healed from that.
Oh
You
man,
know?
that's tough.
Yeah, and here I am, second wife.
Right.
You
Feeling like
know?
chopped liver.
Yeah, but in a many spaces and cases, yes. So let's go into though, what did marriage teach you about you?
It taught me that it helps to have examples. And I don't think it was until after I left the marriage that I realized I didn't really know what I was doing in the marriage because my parents were divorced and
Yeah.
my aunts and uncles who were married they were on my dad's side. I didn't get to see them very often. And when I did see them, it's, a day or two at a time, but not really, really see marriages work
Uh-huh.
and what went into it. And then also my husband was my only relationship. Like
Okay.
I hadn't had any adult relationships before, so I was just trying to figure it
So
out,
you
and I
hadn't
thought I
had
was
any intimate relationships with a man till your husband.
no, I hadn't had adult like I've been intimate with
Okay.
guys, but
Okay.
not like you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, we doing this, it's just me and
Okay.
you. I hadn't done
Okay.
that.
That relationship space.
Right.
Okay.
The relationship space. And it was once I left and I started reflecting back, thinking, well, why didn't you fight for me? Why didn't you fight for us? Why did you wanted this, but I wanted it? Well, why couldn't we? And I started seeing things more clearly. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know what I was doing, but he came from a family where everybody gets married and stays married. So
Mhm.
he knew what it took. And for me, it was a little frustrating because I would have expected him to kind of take the lead on things. But even when I tried, it wasn't like he would say, for instance, oh, I wish my wall was green. I would paint the wall green. He's like, I'm tired of looking at this green wall. Well, but you said you wanted a green wall, so I gave you a green wall. But that's how the marriage was. And it taught me that yes, compromise is necessary, but you still have to know what you want.
Mhm. It sounded like it wore you down.
It
Yeah.
did. It did. And my best friends would tell me, you're not the Carla I knew. What happened to,
Mhm.
they used to call me Miss Carla 246. What happened to Miss Carla 246? She was so fly and flashy. But it just over time, I
Yeah.
just became a shell of myself.
Yeah. Reducing and reducing and reducing.
Trying
Yeah.
not to offend,
Mhm.
trying not to upset,
Oh yeah.
trying to let him, be the man. And
Yeah.
I reduced myself or
Yes.
let him, however,
Avoiding
I'm not going to place the
confrontation.
blame.
Avoiding confrontation. I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
I love that. Okay. So you learned in that, what what was your evolution process from that point to where you are now? You see what I'm saying? So you went from finding these things out with about yourself within the marriage, and then you go into the divorce piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from that part to now, what is that evolution, that aha? What is that?
Just because you treat people a certain way, you can't expect them to treat you the same. And the evolution of learning how to speak up for myself, learning how to
Mm,
advocate for myself came a little late in the game for me, because even though we weren't together, I still didn't want to ruffle any feathers. And I know women are the ones who usually keep up drama, and I don't do drama. I'm a Virgo. Like, so if I feel myself getting upset, I'm like, wait, is this worth getting upset over? It's not. And I calm back down. So
mm-hmm.
he would, have his moments, and I'm just like, okay, are we done? Are we? But that just fueled him more
Escalated.
to treat me that way. So I had to learn how to say, hold on, wait a minute. We're not doing this. Let me have my say. You had your say. Now this is what I have to say. And we're raising these children together. So I had to learn how to speak up for myself and know that even though I expected him to treat me a certain way, he wasn't going to do that. And it had to be okay.
Yeah.
I could still stand up for myself and still do what I felt I needed to do for me.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Yes. Y'all hear
That's where
that?
that book came from, me
Y'all hear
doing what I had to
that?
do.
Yes, but it took 5 years, but it's here.
And I was
That was
scared,
that was a
scared, scared,
5 year
scared.
process. Let's get into that. Let's get into the fear that came with divorcing, that came with you saying, I'm gonna write a book. And what matter of fact, what was your goal? What was the moment when you said, I'm gonna put this down in a book. I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna what happened with that where you was bold enough to say, I'm gonna create and record something. You see what I'm
Well,
saying? What was
mhm.
that?
It honestly came from one of my best friends. He is a modern day poet. His name is Pierre Genty, best-selling author and international best-selling author actually. But he's on the men's side, so it's him, Stefan Speaks, Derek Jackson, those types of
Okay.
guys. And he's like, Carla, I bet it would help to heal you if you wrote about it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't write this, but no, I can't. He said, I bet it would help you. And there are no women talking about it. You only have men telling women what to think and how to heal and how to feel. You should write this book. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't. So it took him 2 or 3 years just to even convince me to write about it.
Wow.
And so the first manuscript got tossed. This is the second manuscript because that one was what my ex-husband did, how he made me feel, things he said. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Mhm.
This isn't about him.
Yes.
This is about the healing. If I'm healing myself, I'm helping to heal others. Let me write a book for these women. And that's where it came from. My best friend, he was on me until I got it done.
I love it. I love it. And this is what I love about it. Because you said, I'm not saying my divorce was my ex-husband's fault. I would never say that. This book is not to place blame on him. This is about my experience with my emotions.
Absolutely.
I love that disclaimer.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not trying to be
Yes.
sued, but I
Yes.
also wanted, because we dated in high school.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and his dad went to college together. My brother and his sister went to school
So these are
together. Our families have known each
families.
other,
Oh,
right,
wow.
for years. And so we have a lot of mutual people. And I didn't want anybody to think, oh my God, Carla's writing a tell all. It's not that. You aren't going to know what happened inside of our marriage.
Reason you tossed the first manuscript.
Right,
So
exactly.
it's interesting because first manuscript, you had to get all the anger stuff out. You
And
had
that's
to
all
you
it was.
yeah.
Anger.
You had to get
Anger.
all the anger stuff out of that, all of the
Mm-hmm.
shame stuff out of
Mm-hmm.
that. You had to get all of that out first to get to the meat and potatoes
Absolutely.
of this right here. And I love it. I love it.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk about that co-parenting piece. parenting. How are we doing this? How are we supposed to do this? Because, like I said, you have separated your identity. You're going off. You're feeling more freedom. You're feeling more liberated. And then, like you said, every 2 weeks you have to meet up and see the progression of this other life of this person you've left. And
Mhm.
then you have to hear stuff from the kids. And then you get to, how do we do this in a healthy manner? Because see, me and mine didn't have any children. All our children were grown. Okay.
Mm.
We have a blended family, but they were all grown. So we didn't
We
have
didn't
any
have
little
that.
ones. Right.
It's been difficult. Even when you're with your partner, you still disagree on how to raise the kids and different things to do. But when you're separated, it makes it that much harder because now we don't have to agree. We don't have to get along. I feel one way, you feel another, and whatever happens happens. The good thing is he's a very present and active father. We only want what's best for our children. So from that aspect, and we both come from really good homes. We both have very good parents, not a lot of trauma there, so we are able to do what needs to be done for the kids, and we agree on it for the most part. There's still a little, nitpicking here and there, but and we've had some arguments in front of the kids. It's been a long time, but the children know we care about them. They know we love them, and their parents we both support them. And he has a new person now. His fiance, she loves the kids and supports the kids, so that helps.
Good, good. Okay. So, how would you what would you tell someone who is actually going through divorce and they have to co-parent and their all of their emotional stuff is very fresh?
Mm. Keep the kids front and center. It's not about you. It's not about him. You have your feelings about that man. That man has his feelings about you. You have to put that to the side when you're dealing with the children. And then, like, we have as minimal communication as possible. We are not friends. We are not. We don't have to be friends to be on one accord with the kids.
Okay.
So a lot of our communication, because my son is 17, a lot of our communication is done in a group chat with him, and that helps to keep us
Okay.
behaving because my son
Okay.
will be like, "What's up with y'all?" Like if we start, going at it, he's like, "Hey, hey," he'll do the emoji like,
It,
so it helps
it brings
keep
you
the
back.
right, brings us back.
Uh-huh.
But I would tell them just it's not about you, it's not about him, it's about the kids. What is in the best interest for the kids? And it helps you remove some of your ego out of the way.
Wow. So remove the emotion.
Emotion and ego,
Yeah,
because
emotion and
it could be
ego.
something where, like, for instance, my son we're starting to look at colleges. His dad wants him to stay here. I want him to leave. I told my son, he's like, well, y'all need to fight it out. I said, no, 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 no. This is your decision.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, you are the one going to college. I told you why I want you to leave. Oh, my son just texted us in the group chat. So I told you why I want you to leave. Your dad has told you why he wants you to stay. We'll visit the schools and you make the best decision for you. Not based on what we've said. You take it into account, but it still depends on you. Ooh, sorry.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you just really have to stay focused, move your emotions and your ego out the way, and stay focused solely on the children.
Yeah,
Period.
and I talk about this in the book. These are rose quartz bracelets. So when everything was fresh, I had a meeting with my website girl,
Hmm.
and I don't know, I guess I started crying or got sad or something. And she's like, "You need rose quartz." And I was like, "What is it? I ain't never heard no damn rose quartz. What the hell?" It's for love and whatever. She read me the whole thing. I was
Hmm.
like, oh my God, okay, I'll get some. And she was like, I'll make you a bracelet. She stopped what she was doing. She made me a bracelet right then. And so when I knew I would have to see my husband, my
Yeah.
ex-husband, or if we were arguing, he was pissing me off, I would do act in love, think in love, speak in love. And I would do the beads like this as a rosary. And I would just do this until I calmed down. And so sometimes, like, people don't even, I will be out in public, but he's right here next to me. And I'm just like, trying to
Yeah.
calm down. So having something that you can use to redirect your energy, redirect your thought process also helps.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Okay, ladies, get some rose quartz, all right? And if you need some protection, go on and get you some black obsidian and some tiger's eye.
Oh,
If
I
you
need a
just,
whole tiger's
yeah,
eye suit.
whole suit, yes. Okay, let's talk about why. What did you fear about putting this book out? Why was you scared? I understand it taking 5 years. That was your process. I
Hmm.
understand you having that one manuscript and dumping that. I
Hmm.
understand. I get all of
Oof.
that. Okay, but what was you scared of? How it was going to be received?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
because
talk
when you
about it.
see the book, you think, "Oh my God, oh my God, OMG, I'm divorced. What is she talking about? What happened in her marriage? I want to know what happened in her marriage. Why did they break up? What did he say? What did he do? What did?" And so there's the perception of it being a tell-all, but then also through the first 6 or 7 chapters, I'm telling you about I broke down here, I broke down this place. It's like, damn, you just sad and depressed the whole time. But most people go through their first breakup in high school or college age. They die slow death and then they move on because they're young and they bounce back. My
Yes.
first heartbreak was 35 with 2 children. So it hit a lot. I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? What is going on? So for me to be that level of
Mm,
vulnerable and then share it literally with anybody in the world who has access to Amazon, it's kind of like, oh, these people are gonna know I've been crying. It was a little scary, but the feedback I've gotten has been really supportive.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
And you feel like people are going to judge you, mishandle you, um, negatively critique you, all of that with you being vulnerable for even releasing the book and putting
Right.
all of this in there, and
Mm-hmm.
then having to fear, the critiquing and all of that. That can, because I know for me, becoming a content creator of life and love after divorce, I get negatively critiqued often. Many times it's from men, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
from women, but many times it's from men. And, so I understand because I had put out a video of me going into the courthouse and going to, get my divorce papers. And I was like, it's time. And so I did a video going into the courthouse, getting my divorce papers. And I put up the caption as um, divorcing and still in love. Because
Oh,
when I left my husband, I was still very much in
oh
love.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
So that's basically what the theme was. Like, I'm going to do this and I'm still in love,
Mm-hmm.
and how scary and how it hurt and how, I was, how unsure I was about it, but I knew I needed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And um I put that video up on TikTok and on YouTube. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
put it on Facebook, and I'm going to do it when I'm going to do it with some other content.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, okay, leave it here, walk away. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be judged. Oh my God, I'm going to get so much criticism. Oh my God, they're going to come for me. Oh my God. Oh,
Oh
like I
man.
went into this panic. In 24 hours, I went back to go look.
Blown up. Nothing but
Oh,
support.
OMG, I'm divorced. OMG. I was like, what just happened here?
I love
I
that for
had
you.
over 3,500 views and over 600 comments. It
Wow.
has taken off. It's already at 450,000 views. It's still taking off. It's like my
Wow.
my most viral video.
Because people don't talk about
And
this part.
I
They
was
just
being
talk
sup-
about
I was
like starting something
yeah,
new.
I was being supported. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was gonna get all of this negative feedback. It was so many people saying, "Oh my God, I feel you. Oh my God, I gotta go next week. Oh my God, I've been in 25 years and I'm still
Mm.
trying to figure it out. Thank you for this. Oh my God, you've given me the courage. Oh
Wow.
my goodness, I'm praying for you. Oh my God, you're still beautiful." Like, I got all, and I was like, I said,
Right, you still
yeah,
beautiful.
they was like, "You're still beautiful after going for divorce. You're still beautiful." Yeah, they was like, "Can you guys see how pretty she is?" Like, they were just saying all the stuff, and I was like, God, I had to sit down. I had to really sit down and take like a breath, and I was like, God, what just happened here? what is
Mm.
happening? What is going on? I went over to YouTube. It was the same thing. I was like, what just this is divorce.
This is, yeah, but this is what people need. And I think us being vulnerable enough to talk about it is helping women or people in general connect with their feelings. Because
Yes.
again, nobody, all we hear is don't put up with this, don't put up with that, and then it's get somebody new, get the love you deserve. What about the in the between
The
time?
middle. Ooh.
What about the between the leaving and finding somebody? The feelings of what's wrong with me? Am I worthy? Do I deserve
Mm,
love? Was this all my fault? Could I have done anything differently? Nobody talks about those feelings. So you putting out that video, same as me putting out this book, is like there is a lot that happens in between. And we
yeah.
have to do that middle work in order to move forward in a healthy way. A lot of people just jump into a new relationship. I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of people just jump into the next thing,
Okay.
and then it's like, wait, hold on, what is? But they're already in it, and now you got this other person, like you were the second wife. Like, why are you grooming? People don't want to do the work, and so for those of us who do want to do the work, we don't know how to do the work because nobody is talking about doing
Nobody's
the work.
telling us.
Nobody is telling us how to do the work.
Nobody's telling us. Thank you. Thank you so much
Mm.
for that. So that's why I was so attracted to you when I found you. I found you. Let me tell you how I found her. This video came up on my feed on Instagram, and it was about what's it? How to eat my cookie? Come eat my cookie. What's the video? What's the
who
name of it?
who will eat my
Who will
cookie?
eat my cookie? It's a play on words, y'all. Listen, y'all need to go see Miss Carla, honey. Read that book talking about who will eat my cookie. And baby,
Listen,
I was laughing all the way through, and she's so animated when she did it. I said, "Who is she?" And so I seen she was a publisher and all that, and then I seen something about divorce. She did like have this divorce hotline, these content about this divorce hotline. I was like, "Oh,
I need to talk to
oh my
her.
God." So I just start running down her stuff. Y'all know how you start running down people's stuff. And I just reached out to her and I said, "You are amazing. Thank you so much." Because I felt like it was another person also bringing awareness to the feelings and the bereavement and the grief and the recovery and life and love
Life and
during and after divorce. And
mm-hmm.
I keep saying, no matter your relationship status, everyone deserves love in life.
Yep,
Love in life, love. Everyone deserves that. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And it shouldn't be because now I'm divorced, I'm discarded. You know,
Right,
and
right.
that's
But that's how it feels.
that.
And if you
Yes,
read the comment section, that's what they say. My friends are like, "Oh, you need to move on." I was like, "But I'm over 40. I have 2 children. I'm divorced." And they're like, "What do you what?" But if you read the comment section, they make you feel like nobody's ever going to want you.
especially men,
It's yeah, but
especially the men.
can't keep them off me. Can especially the young
Yes.
ones
Oh
can't
yes.
keep them off me.
Yes. I
Literally.
understand, honey. So with I find that they attack me with age in divorce. So they say, well, you're in your 50s. Who's going to want you now? You're in your 50s. You should have just stayed married. You're in your 50s. Don't know, nobody want no old ass woman. This is how the men come for me. Like they're not aging. Like,
Right.
it's
How old
like,
are you,
no,
sir?
you ain't no Benjamin Buttons over there. Like, come on, you ain't aging backwards. You aging too. You got the receding hairline.
Mm-hmm.
You got the pop belly. You dealing with ED. You got all these things
See,
coming up
that's
for
why I got
you.
me a young one. I don't want no ED. I don't. Mm-mm. Nah.
You dealing with the aging process as well. Age is coming for everybody.
Right.
But it's how do you do that? And how do you do that in a way that still blesses you? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at with it. But that's what they do. They attack my age and they attack it with divorce. And so, were you ever attacked during your time of grieving, bereavement, recovery from divorce? Were you ever like,
Mm-mm.
okay,
No. Well, one, people think I'm a lot younger than I am.
go share your
But
age, girl. Go share the black don't crack. What age are you, girl?
but
Oh, you ain't gonna
I
tell us
also,
your age?
ma'am.
You ain't gonna tell us your age?
Oh,
I said, come on, black don't
I'm
crack.
almost 45.
Okay, come on, 45. You
Yeah.
could never been about 35.
And see, that's what
Mm-hmm.
people think. So I mean, I've aged since the divorce. So back then at 35, I was looking 25. But I I haven't really been vocal about it until now. So I haven't really given people the opportunity to attack me.
Good.
And the people who know.
Right.
And those are people who love and respect me as a person. So they aren't gonna attack me. Now, my friends, my lifelines, as I call them, they are supportive spaces, but they are honest spaces. So when I'm not doing something I should be doing, or if I'm in the wrong, they'll call me out and look, they'll call me out. It'll be in love, but I haven't been attacked.
Okay.
I get attacked
So,
more on Instagram. Just like I put a post up about it was a grammar post. It had nothing to do with anything.
mhm.
None of my pictures are like overly provocative. Like I ain't taking pictures from the back and twerking. I don't do that kind of stuff. But this guy came on my grammar post and said, "You're attention seeking. You're a bad role model for young girls." So normally I just don't pay attention. I had time that day. And I used his comment and did a whole video response. And that video got 3 times as many views as the original video he commented on. But I was like, what, how am I not a good role model? And I ran down my resume, like, sir. And then my children have friends who follow me. I need to make sure Auntie Carla keeps it tight. So
Yes.
like, what are you talking about? But no, I don't really get
That's
attacked. Well, I haven't
good.
started being attacked yet.
Okay.
But these divorce hotline videos,
Okay.
people will text me and be like, "Oh my God, that was so funny." So I think when I start doing more of those, then the men will start coming for me.
Yes.
I'm
Got
ready
you.
though.
Yeah. Yeah. You do have to build your resolve.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build your resolve for that. You can't be weak and call yourself creating no content.
Baby, because ooh, they would. Even
They
my
will
son,
eat you up.
we threw my son a super sweet 16 last year, and the cake fell apart before the party. So I did a video about that, and I showed a quick snip. Well, I did his outfit, like I did stuff leading up to the party.
Okay.
And then I posted a 1 minute video walkthrough before the party started. And the post after that was like, "Hey, my cake fell apart." Da, da, da. So people saw that and they were like, "Well, how much money did she spend?" And they went to the previous video and they were like, "Oh my God, you calling us broke in so many different languages. How much money did you spend?" And so one of those comments said something about being ghetto and uneducated because we spent so much money.
Mm,
I had time for
you
him
had
too.
time.
Oh, I had lots of time. And that video got so many shares because I was like, who's ghetto family?
Mhm.
At no point did I say how much the cake cost. I just said the cake fell apart and I wanted my money back
Oh
because we
wow.
had 150 kids that my parents had to go buy cupcake. We raided 3 Publix bakeries to get enough cupcakes for the kids because the cake fell apart. I never said how much money I spent.
Right.
You went to the last video and you saw how much money I spent. But
Oh,
yeah, I
people
don't
getting
really.
triggered. They get triggered. People get triggered for different reasons.
But my son has a 4.0, and why would I not honor him? The only thing I have to yell at him about is not taking out the trash on Sunday night. Other than that,
Okay.
he's a good kid. So
Yes.
he said he wanted a party. My baby got a party. What's that?
I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
sweetie. Another question. Okay. When did you start dating after you did you try to take the pain away? Did you go get you some medicine? Did you go get you some medicine right away?
So I did get involved with a gentleman,
Okay.
and I told him, me and my husband are separated. When he comes back, because he's going to come
Mhm.
back, when he comes back, I'm taking him
Yeah,
back. So
you put that
this,
in the book.
no,
You didn't put that. Oh, that must be on
no.
some content. It's somewhere I seen that. Oh no, I think that was us talking. Go ahead. Okay.
When he comes
When he
back,
come
I'm
back.
taking him back. So whatever this is what it is for the time being. By the time my husband came back and wanted his family, we had been through so much, and things with this new guy heated up to a point where I said, "Oh, well, if you want your family back, now you're gonna have to fight for it. You have to
Mm,
show me this is what you want." I'm not saying like really duke it out, because really I can kick this homeboy to the curb in a second, but I want you to show me this is what you want. So other than that guy, I've been on a few dates, but to be honest, he's been a staple. I just haven't, I was so depressed. I was so sad and trying to really, really heal myself. And then because my kids were so young, and I've been SA'd, so I didn't want to have people around them or bring a new guy around them and they have to deal with all of that. So I was like, let me just wait until they get older before I start dating.
Mhm.
So I did a couple dates and the guys were so trash. I was like, if this is what I'm gonna get, I might as well stay over here with homeboy. So I'm just now allowing myself to be open enough to date.
And
And we
that's 5 years.
separated. No, we separated in 2016.
Okay, so we
So
going on close to 10 years.
9 years,
Mm-hmm.
almost. Actually, next month will be 9 years from when the time he moved out, and the divorce wasn't final until December of 17.
Okay.
But I mean, I've been homeboy's been keeping me very
Good.
busy. We've
Good.
been doing all the things, but it's
Good.
just not like loving out loud. I
Yes.
haven't been loving out loud.
Okay. Okay. And you know what? For some of us, that's not necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't for me for a long
Yeah.
time. And I mean, even still now, as long as I feel, because I said something to my best friend about being single, and she's like, "But Carla, you haven't been single in your heart." And to him, you're his woman. He sees you
Mm.
as his. So you really haven't been single. The world thinks you're single, but you haven't really been single. Like y'all talk every day, you see each other all the time, y'all go. So it's but now I'm ready for the love out loud piece. I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm like
Yes. Okay.
I'm right there.
That's good. Okay. Okay. I love that. And I want to say that some people, that is their way of relating. Like like your friend telling you like you haven't been single.
Right.
You feel like you single because you haven't loved out loud,
Right.
but she's telling you,
Like
intimately
nah.
speaking, you have not been single. And some people, that is the way they relate. They relate with somebody intimately often. Like it's not, and so there's nothing wrong with that,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you said all of the discovery that you have,
Oh, it's been so much.
yeah,
And he knows everything. He's been
experience.
there every step of the way, every tear. Like he is literally, I will call him crying. He would take off work and he's a big guy. So I'm 5'3". He's like 6'2". Excuse me. So he picked me up and put me on, lay down on the couch and put me on. He's like, tell Big Daddy what's wrong. And he just rub my back and let me cry and get it out. And he's like, okay, you ready to talk about it
I
now?
like that.
So he's been there and he's helped me through a lot. And even with the co-parenting, because he has a son. So I'm like, okay, as a man, how would you feel if da 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 da? Or should I tell him that da 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 da? So I'm able to get some honest feedback that I know is coming from a good place.
Great. Oh, girl, I love it. I love it. I love how you've moved on. It's taking close to 9 years, but you are doing it your way. And that's what I tell people. Healing is personal.
Yes,
Don't, you
absolutely.
can't, do not compare yourself to somebody else's healing. And healing is not a competition. What I may have to be, aware of and discover about myself, you might not have to be aware of and discover about yourself.
Absolutely. And I talk
Everybody,
about that in the book.
yes, and
Hmm.
everybody is on their own level of their healing journey. So please do not compete and compare
Right.
with what anyone else is doing. This is personal and it's
Absolutely.
okay.
It's okay.
It's
The
okay.
best friend, one of my best friends was with me when I met him. And after we hit like 4 years or so, she was like, friend, what are y'all doing? Like, you still kicking it with this dude and nobody know, like y'all ain't doing nothing. I'm like, but it's okay. I'm okay with the way it is. Just
Hmm.
let it be. And she just kept trying to get me to jump and get married. And that was your story. That's not going to be mine. You didn't have any children to worry about. I do. And I have a young daughter.
Yes.
So I want my children, and then both of my parents have been remarried. So I know what it feels like to be a stepchild. And I felt like things were easier just the way they were. Mama gonna get her time, the kids in school. I get my time on the weekend, and then I can be a parent the rest of the time.
Yes. So would you say that divorce empowered you?
I would absolutely 100,000% say it empowered me. And it took me a while to see it. But when I realized that I had been reduced to a shell of a person, and like the Carla you see on social media, I would have never shown y'all that side of me because my husband didn't like it. He told me I was too friendly and I was too personable. And you always in people business. Why you like I meet somebody at a store and 30 minutes later I can tell you where they were born, the mama name, the daddy name, what happened when they were 12 years old. He's like, why do you do that? Like people just want to be heard. People just they want to feel like they matter. They want to be seen and heard. And if I can do that for 20 minutes in the store, that's what I'm going to do. But he didn't really care for that. So the woman who I am today, you all wouldn't know me as that person at all.
Yeah. I get that. I would always get that. I needed to stop that because he was protecting me. And I was like, protecting me from what? I
From
need
what?
protecting from you now.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't even like when we're at kids functions and he's like, don't sit me next to your mama because she too loud. When we die, do you want the kids to remember we were here to support them or not? They will always know mama was there because you can hear me on every damn video. That's right, don't chase us. You're gonna know your mom was there.
Yes.
And just living out loud. We're talking about loving it, but living out loud also. Like he didn't like that from me. So
Yeah.
I'm able to do that now, and it feels good.
I'm so glad that you have met this level in space in
Thank
stage of
you.
Carla. She is
Thank
amazing.
And
There's
we have to do
so
lunch
we
next
are
week.
doing lunch next week, huh? Y'all gonna see us at lunch break because we gonna create some
Hey,
content.
the
We gonna
divorce
create some
queens.
yeah. We gonna create some content. So tell everybody
Absolutely.
where they can find you and what you
Mm.
have coming up next.
Yeah, so I am Right with Carla, WRITE with Carla. If you type in Right With, I pop right up. Carla with a C on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm just Carla DuPont, but please follow me. I do writing and publishing content, but also just relatable mom content, life content, ADHD content, a little bit of depression, but I really just try to do it all in fun and laughter because life is hard enough. You need a place to laugh. So that's me,
Mhm.
hopefully.
Yes, laughter
Thank
is
you so
healing.
much for having me. I appreciate you inviting me to talk to you. This has been great.
I'm gonna get you on life and divorce too. So we're gonna go over there and do a piece and blow that piece up and everything. But definitely, if you want to be part of our book club, go get your book. It's on Amazon. OMG, I'm Divorced by Carla DuPont. Please, because we definitely want to start our book club for April. We want to
Yes.
start our book club for
And
April
I'll
for
come to
next
your
month.
meeting.
Yes, please
Yes.
do. Please do. So we're going to start it online because we got a lot of people who are,
Hmm.
in
Of
other
course.
places, but we're just going to go ahead and go to Zoom and start that book
Absolutely.
club
I'll
and
be there.
everything. And for those of you who are watching and joining us for this video, I want to thank you for all of your love and support, but also if you want to be part of a safe and supportive community of women who are over 40, who are divorcing or divorced, please check us out at the Rebirth Collective Community on Facebook. You know what that is, right? Come on over and join our community because we are in a space of reinvention and restoring those
Absolutely.
things that necessarily create the happiness and the joy that we deserve, right? I just put up a post the other day and said, honey, joy, I'm finding that joy is the secret sauce. Creating joy
Hmm.
is the secret sauce to
It
this
is.
recovery.
It is.
Finding those things that
Finding
you love
pockets
to
of
do.
happiness.
Right, right. So thank you so much, Carla. I
Thank you
appreciate
again.
you.
You're
And we will
welcome.
be talking soon. And we're meeting next week for lunch.
Yes, ma'am. Talk.
All right.
Join our
Love.
safe and supportive community for women who are over 40, recovering from divorce and in the process of reinvention and finding happiness. The Rebirth Collective.